settle this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Let's Settle This, the show where we settle the debates between nerds about movies, video games, TV shows, and whatever we want to talk about. And today is a really special one. We have two close friends of mine debating Star Wars films, who's going to be cast next as Wolverine, and so much other things. So let's just get started with it. But I want to introduce our new fact checker for this week. It is my brother, Josh Stone. Say what's up.
What's up?
What up, dude?
What's up?
You're going to be fact checking today over here. You're going to be reading comments from people and just making sure everything's a clean fight, yeah?
Yeah. We got a couple comments right off the bat. We got Kalani Hubbard with the best Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back. And then we have about 600 Ewok says, A New Hope is the best. Solid film all around. Completely reimagined the way we look at film today.
Dang. So that's
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, Brandon, I would like you to keep your mouth closed till I introduce you. But let's just keep putting stuff in there whenever we're going through all these debates and all these topics. Just keep talking in there and let us know what you would have competed with. But let's get into who we got on the show today. First of all, we have Brandon Bonnette, the returning champ. He beat Josh last week. Say what's up, Brandon.
Hey, I can talk?
Yep.
All right. Just sure. Well, I didn't know there were such strict rules. My bad. Still learning this. What's up? I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for these topics.
Awesome, and also a good friend of mine. He's a rocker in a really cool dude. This is Jaxon Moore. He's also a movie dude. So say what's up, Jaxon.
Hey, I'm Jaxon. I'm in a band. I play guitar and I like movies.
Here Lies the Sparrow, top band of all time.
Low Lives, they're good.
Low Lives. All right, everybody, let's run over the rules. So the rules here is it's about the arguments, be creative, and most of all, make it funny. Not even most of all, but make it funny if you can. Those are the rules. It's about the arguments. It's not about my personal opinion, hopefully. I mean, we're all biased, right, at some point. But we're going to run to this little short segment to let you know who the fighters are.
Let's settle this.
All right, round one is what is the best Star Wars film? And we're going to start with our winner from last week, Brandon Bonnette. You start up with letting us know your opening statement, Brandon.
First one's best Star Wars film. You cut out for a sec.
Yes, best Star Wars film.
Best Star Wars film all time, hands down, Return of the Jedi. It's a masterpiece. It's the final ending to that great trilogy. Everything comes full force. The action is incredible. Luke's whole story arc just coming together. Even the story arc with Darth Vader, the closure on that was set up in the prequels. I don't know, just all around, I think it's the best that encapsulates what Star Wars really is. Like when you think of it with the creatures, the effects, the direction, the story. It's like the full circle. A New Hope's good. It's the hero's journey. And then we go with that Empire. We find out the dark secret from before. And then this answers everything. And I just think it's the perfect Star Wars movie if you're saying which is the best Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi.
Awesome. And Jaxon, let us know who your pick was.
All right. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I love Star Wars. My favorite Star Wars movie, and the one that I think is the best Star Wars movie of all time, is The Last Jedi. I love The Last Jedi. It's an awesome film. I love Rian Johnson as a director. The Last Jedi, I think, encapsulates all of the best things about Star Wars, the journey of the rebels to try and get away from the Empire, to fight against them, to build their army to fight back. It's a perfect middle episode. That, the arc of Luke Skywalker in the movie, I love Luke's journey from this hermit to believing again, and the finale of the film. I think the acting in The Last Jedi is some of the best acting that we've ever seen in any Star Wars film, from Mark Hamill especially. Rey, Kylo Ren, it's amazing. I love the entire movie.
Awesome. Now, Brandon, Jaxon, time to go head to head. Brandon, kind of rebuttal what he was saying about The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. Look, I'm not a hater. I am a fan of The Last Jedi. It's a good movie. It's a great Rian Johnson movie. I don't think it's the best Star Wars movie ever at all. One, the CGI, man. Like, I'm not knocking it. It looks good, but it loses that Star Wars feel for me. The practical effects, which there are some, but there's a lot more digital to me. Return of the Jedi is just the perfect Star Wars movie for anything that is Star Wars. Last Jedi, it doesn't work because of the third movie as well, because they really didn't let Johnson really see to fruition what he was going to do with the franchise. They gave it back to J.J. Abrams because of the damage it did. Again, it's very hard. I'd never want to speak negative of Star Wars, but it is not the best Star Wars movie.
Jaxon?
We cannot judge The Last Jedi based upon what The Rise of Skywalker has done. The Rise of Skywalker came afterwards. At the moment, whenever Last Jedi came out, it was, Rey was no one. Luke Skywalker was gone. Kylo Ren was set up as the main villain. These are all things, of course, that were kind of abandoned later on. But these are story threads that were put there in that film when it came out. Walking out of the theater, it was a moment where I was like, wow, Star Wars is heading in a new direction where we've never seen it go before. And for that beautiful moment, 2 years of waiting, it was a perfect time when Star Wars was finally doing something new and not trying to copy what came before. And as far as the CGI goes, I understand. I can get that. I think that there's a lot of, if you've seen the behind the scenes documentary, the scene where Luke reaches out to Kylo and Rey and that entire hut that they're in explodes, that was all practical. It was pretty insane. The alien with the green milk in its boobs, practical.
I thought it was blue milk, but all right. It is green.
It's sort of green.
I don't think you can throw out Rise of Skywalker because there's things that are set up at the last. I was excited too. I share your review on that. I was excited and then completely let down, and that's where I feel it does tarnish Last Jedi as a movie because it is in its own trilogy. It was the new trilogy. You look at the prequels; they had a beginning, middle, end. Just like the original trilogy. So I feel like that's why it doesn't work as a Star Wars movie. Like, it set up some awesome ideas and then let us down. Like, right now, we'd probably have the same pick had they not done with Rise of Skywalker. It does tarnish what they did because it was exciting. It was new. I still wouldn't have called it my favorite because I was like, I'm excited. Let's see where they go. That was really my thought after seeing it. I was like, oh my God, they had the balls to do that. That's awesome. But what's great about Return of the Jedi, you get everything you needed in the story. It could have just been the original trilogy, and it still stands. Again, it still shows what the new trilogy does not have is Lucas on board. I know he's a producing consultant. Like, his fingerprints are gone, and it's stripped away of what Star Wars is, and it became this new thing. And now it's even more of this new thing with what Rise of Skywalker did. It was just like, oh, people are forgetting about it. And I know it was if you saw the Star Wars fandom, the people were divided as soon, just like anything Star Wars. But the negativity, the outcry, they listened and they were like, okay, well, they don't want this, so let's give them what we think they want. And we did not get to finish it. That hurts The Last Jedi so hard that it's not. Like, that's why I still say it's a great Rian Johnson movie. It's a great Rian Johnson movie. It is not the best Star Wars movie.
Well, I'll say, you said, we got everything that we asked for in Return of the Jedi as a finale, and I would say absolutely. As I was crying out for Darth Vader to scream "No" at the end. It was one of the I was begging for it. The Ewoks. was begging for it to happen.
But like again, man, like that said, like Return is the capsule of what Star Wars became, what it was. It has elements of everything that makes Star Wars great. It's got A New Hope. It's got even the bleakness of Empire. It's got it all just wrapped into one, and you really see Luke make a choice. And there's a part where he almost goes to the dark side and says no, and then Darth Vader has that brilliant turn where you see it. It's shot so well, and he's like, you could tell he's worried, like, who do I choose? Do I choose my son? Do I choose the person that I've been serving? What is going on? And boom, it just, that ending when he takes off his helmet, dude, I cried as a kid. Like, there was not one moment of that I felt in The Last Jedi. They had a really cool lightsaber fight, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I would, first of all, let me preface by saying I love Return of the Jedi, and I think it's an amazing film.
It's hard to crash about something you love, so I get it, man.
It's hard to
like, I don't want to use certain words like dumpster fire or anything, because that is not Star Wars to me. I love Star Wars, so I get it.
But I'll say I agree absolutely. I think the directing in Return of the Jedi was amazing, or I think the directing in The Last Jedi is amazing too. Don't get me wrong, but I think where it really comes through for me is in the acting, the performances. Not to say that Mark Hamill didn't do a great job in Return of the Jedi. I think he had the best performance that he's ever done in The Last Jedi. And because of that performance, when he does die at the end and he's staring out at the twin suns on Octo, I lost it in the theater. I did cry, and as an adult, of course, as a child, I probably would have as well. But there was just a few scenes like that from him, from Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver too. There was amazing acting from them as well. It was really profound for me. The scene where he's talking about how when he's trying to explain to Rey the worst things about the Jedi, you know, what happened whenever he talks about Darth Sidious. First of all, I never thought we'd hear Luke Skywalker say Darth Sidious, which is pretty sick. But him talking to Rey, and he talks about how he failed, and, you know, because he was a legend, he was, you know, Luke Skywalker, you know, the myth, and the tears in his eyes. Incredible performance from him. I think it's hard because older films have a different standard for what acting is, and whenever we look at films now and where acting has evolved to, I think it's harder to put the two up against each other. But just putting Mark Hamill's performance in The Last Jedi versus Return of the Jedi, I think he knocked it out of the park in Last Jedi for me.
One last thing I'll say, we're bringing up acting, sir. My movie has Harrison Ford in it from beginning to end. That man's an actor.
Benicio del Toro.
He's incredible. He's so good. And I'm sorry, you could just cut the scenes with Harrison Ford, still better acting than The Last Jedi. But that's just me and my man crush for Harrison Ford. No one points like Harrison Ford. No one does it. And man, he made a career out of it.
He's got a great point about that point. All right, I think that's good for this fight. I think you guys did awesome. I'm going to think about this. Josh, let's go to you real quick. Is there any interesting comments coming in through the YouTube chat?
Yeah, we had some hot takes here. Jeffrey Connor, what up, Jeff? Says The Last Jedi had a few decent scenes, but Rian Johnson purposely didn't follow what Star Wars was truly about. And he says Empire Strikes Back is his favorite. And then we got 600 Ewoks, which I believe is Chris. He said, I wouldn't say it's the worst. It stood out the most of all the sequels. And when he thinks back to it, the only part he really didn't like was the casino stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, man, that felt like a James Bond movie.
Yeah, it did not feel like this movie. Anything else standing out there? I see a Katie Stone entered the chat.
All right. What's up,
Oh,
Katie?
yeah. Yeah,
she said, best Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith. I will die on that hill. Wow.
Yeah, she said, I'll die on that hill.
I love Revenge of the Sith. I love it, too. I almost went with it.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, because I think that's one of the only ones I haven't seen, is that one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So you've never seen the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight?
No.
Wow.
It looks
got another hot take here.
This explains a lot about you, Adam.
I don't watch.
Kalani Hubbard. Kalani Hubbard says he'll take Jar Jar over The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I would do.
Kalani.
I love Jar Jar, man. I love Jar Jar. I loved him as a kid. I love him to this day.
Oh God, guys.
Katie says we love a good villain origin story.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think villain origin stories are always fun. Josh, who in this fight were you most leaning with?
Dude, they're both so compelling.
Yeah.
I watched the one that Brandon picked the most.
Yeah.
But I loved when I saw
Last Jedi.
that new one. Yeah, The Last Jedi.
I don't even remember the name.
I don't even remember the names. But your arguments were great.
You have one job.
Your arguments were awesome. Man, if I had to pick one,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of I just love I love newer stuff. I got to go Jaxon a little on this one.
Yeah.
Just for that reason.
Well, I think the chat is pretty much with Brandon on this. It seems a lot of
I would imagine.
people not liking The Last Jedi. Personally, I'm with Jaxon.
So I'm not again. I just don't. Whatever you verdict with, I don't want to come out. I do not hate The Last Jedi at
No,
all.
I know. I know
love
you
The
don't.
Last Jedi.
Understood.
I mean, I know
Understood.
you don't. I personally am with Jaxon with the movie choices, but I think in terms of debate, I was leaning towards Brandon through that whole fight. But Jaxon, you had some great points in there. I think you've argued this fight probably more than any other movie in your life. You've probably had to argue this one the most, wouldn't you think, Jaxon?
Yeah, probably. I will say before we move on, I did some preparation for this, and I do have a letter from George Lucas. What? That he wrote to me. I told him we were doing the show. He said, Return of the Jedi is a sham and is nowhere near as good as The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson is a visionary, and I cower before him. I wish we could hang out more. Your best friend, George Lucas.
I think for me, The Last Jedi is a
He's got to win now. Like he's got to win.
nice. I love his
That's
handwriting.
funny. I'm just got George Lucas right here. Hold on, let me ask him.
It said P.S. Can I get a Diet Coke? Is that what it says at the end? I'll take a Diet Coke. I think, me personally, if I was to interject my personal opinion in this, I think The Last Jedi is a better movie. I think it's made better. Rian Johnson is a better filmmaker. I mean, as we've seen in Knives Out, Looper, those things. But in terms of this argument, I feel like Brandon took the point on that. So congratulations, Brandon, on point number one.
All right, thank you. It was a good fight, though.
Good
It was
fight,
really
good fight, everybody.
Indeed.
Star Wars film that wins is a win in my book.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah, because Brandon almost picked a Star Trek movie to debate this. So
yeah, I thought it was the J.J. Abrams Star Trek Into Darkness.
The darkness.
all right, everybody, let's go into round 2, which is what is the best lightsaber fight? And we're going to start with Jaxon on this. Jaxon, what's your pick?
All right. Get ready, chat. The best lightsaber battle that we have seen on screen in Star Wars is Kylo Ren and Rey against the Praetorian Guards in The Last Jedi. The scene is beautiful aesthetically. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of inner turmoil involved in it. It's one of the most surprising moments in Star Wars, although controversial. I will say that whenever that moment happened, you're sitting there, you're thinking, is Rey turning bad? Is Kylo turning good? What's going on here? How are they going? Which way are they turning? How is this going to end? And you're holding your breath the entire time. The choreography is amazing. The Praetorian Guards are such cool designed characters. The use of lightsabers in it is insane. Just like we've never seen lightsabers used that way. And I prefer the slower, more like heavy looking lightsaber battles versus the light, flippy, turny lightsaber battles of the prequels.
Right.
So that's a personal preference. But personally, I feel like visually and story-wise, that lightsaber battle in The Last Jedi is the best one that we've seen on screen so far.
All right, Brandon, for your opening statement on your lightsaber fight?
I'm probably gonna get hated for this one too, so don't feel bad. I'm going with Duel of the Fates from Episode 1: Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul.
Great choice.
Without this fight, we don't have any of the movies. We don't have it. It's the Duel of the Fates. Qui-Gon dies. Obi-Wan has to take over training Anakin. Had Qui-Gon lived, we might have got a completely different Anakin. Therefore, no Skywalker, no nothing. Been different completely. This battle is so epic and so well done. You can see Lucas through and through on this again. That's what I love about my Star Wars. I like to see Lucas there, and he is there in this. That scene where Darth Maul shows up, removes the hood, the dual lightsaber, and just them like badasses just walking over, like, all right, let's get this. Let's go. Up to the ending, the emotional ending. If we're talking emotion, again, when I saw this, I cried in the theater. I was like, Qui-Gon, no. And then Obi-Wan has to redeem himself, has to fight for him, and does it, and survives, and is able to carry on the rest of the story with Anakin to train him. Without this fight, none of it would have happened. Star Wars wouldn't exist. Like, this is the beginning. And like we said, we all like a good villain origin story. We all agreed. This is the one, baby. Like, oh no, I lost Jaxon.
Yeah, we did. We lost him.
I'm back.
He's back.
Sorry. I was getting a call.
Oh,
I got to take me off, but whatever. I said everything I
They didn't know you were in a fight. What the? Okay. Did you get to hear? Did you get to hear Brandon's last little bit on his?
I did, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right, Jaxon. So just rebuttal that what he had to say for his opening statement, if you would.
I love the Phantom Menace, and I think that is an amazing lightsaber battle. I love the music. John Williams, of course, anything that he does is incredible. Just celebrated his birthday not too long ago. Story-wise, I love Phantom Menace. I think it's got a lot of important stuff in there. Again, the acting is not great. Ewan McGregor was just kind of coming into his own as an actor. He's young. He's not really getting there. And I think a lot of it has to do with directing as well, because Qui-Gon is kind of stiff as well. Anakin, not really involved in that fight, but you know, the acting in that film is just kind of as opposed to in The Last Jedi. Once again, Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver acting their hearts out, giving it their all. You can see the turmoil, the pain on their face whenever they turn to each other, thinking that one another has turned to their side, and that they then have to face the fact that they don't agree on where this is going. And this is personal preference. I love lightsaber battles of any kind. I don't enjoy the overly acrobatic lightsaber battles as much, just because it kind of makes Jedi seem like they have more of they're more OP. They're kind of, you know, like anyone, they could kill anything at any time. You know, it's like they have the greatest force powers. In that movie, they can force run really fast, which was strange, and we never saw it again.
Oh, yeah.
I love the more realistic, down-to-earth lightsaber battles where it feels like two people with a sword hacking away at people. And that's how The Last Jedi feels. It's more visceral. It's more intense, as opposed to like a dance, which is what I prefer personally, and why I think The Last Jedi's lightsaber battle is more... it's better.
Brandon, talk a little bit about the directing of your scene versus The Last Jedi. Why do you feel like it is your choice?
We're not talking movies, we're talking scenes. If you remember, George Lucas is also juggling 4 other storylines that are happening at the same time. And you don't really remember any of those storylines. You remember that lightsaber scene, as you should, because you said the John Williams score. The directing's not memorable in Last Jedi, so much so that you didn't even say that they end up killing Snoke, which was a big plot twist, but nobody remembers it because they didn't follow through with it either. Like, they didn't go anywhere with that. It was like, oh, he's dead, nothing else. Like, nothing comes from that fight other than Rey and Kylo Just kind of like, oh, I guess we're not friends now. Okay, like that's how I felt. Like there's a meaning for this lightsaber battle. Like you say, like a dance. That how George Lucas choreographed that whole fight sequence is mind blowing. Where he used practical and blended it with the blue screen or green screen that he's using at the time. And he blended it so well that it still looks amazing to this day. That's a movie that came out in 1999. It looks better than The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi has been made fun of so much, and I hate that it's done, but I've seen it where they mash it up with the Queen, I Want to Break Free. Nobody takes it serious. Nobody likes it, except for people whose number one Star Wars film is The Last Jedi.
I cannot continue. That's ridiculous, Brandon. You don't think it? You don't.
You're biased, dude. You're all about Rian Johnson.
No, don't talk to me about Rian Johnson. We weren't in this. You love him so much. What are you talking about?
I do. He made a great Rian Johnson movie. I'm not knocking it.
We're talking about lightsaber fight.
Knives Out was way better.
Yeah, but lightsaber fight, right? Lightsaber fight. You're saying it's not as.
You have one lightsaber fight that nobody shuts up about in Last Jedi. One. Nothing matters. Nothing happens from that lightsaber fight. I'm not crazy. Something matters. There are lives on the line with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan going with Darth Maul. I'm arguing you or Jaxon.
Sorry, I got so triggered when you talk about the beauty of something, and you were talking about that movie. I just got triggered.
I'm defending it. I'm debating. It's a debate
sorry.
show. I have to.
I got heated right then.
Hey y'all.
Sorry.
All right.
I love you, Dad.
That lightsaber fight. Kylo Ren is suspended from lackey. He comes up from lackey of Snoke to main villain. He becomes Rey's direct competition. He stares her in the eyes and he asks her to come with him, just like Darth Vader asked of Luke. He says, "Will you join me?" And she has the moment where she has to decide between this person that she really can see. She knows what's inside him, the good and the bad, and she can see that in him, but she wants him so badly to be on her side. But at the same time, she doesn't want to leave him alone either. And at the end, she also finds out that her parents were no one. Of course, she knew that deep down. But this is a moment where she has to face this as a human. She has to face that her parents, she doesn't come from any special lineage. There's nothing outwardly special about her in her bloodline. It's all about who she is personally. I think that's the big thing that comes out of that lightsaber battle is this personal revelation for both Kylo Ren and Rey. Kylo learns that he doesn't need Snoke. He doesn't need anyone over him. He knows that he can be his own man, make his own destiny, and rule the galaxy on his own. And Rey realizes that even though she isn't from a special lineage yet.
Well, yet.
Yet. And then they don't follow through with that, and it means nothing. That lightsaber battle means nothing.
It means everything.
It means that they're going to end up being boyfriend and girlfriend before he dies.
All right, Brandon, last comments on this scene, why yours is better. Just last comments, get like about a minute long comments.
Minute long. Just like I said, like it's just the Duel of the Fates. It even has a title. What do you call The Last Jedi? Like oh, that cool one with Kylo Ren and Rey, the only one. Like it's just a better lightsaber. We're going lightsaber battle. It is a better battle. It is a awesome battle. It is epic in every single way. And Last Jedi's epic for a little bit, and then they kill Snoke, and it's like, okay, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna end up repeating myself, but I think that's how I feel.
All right, that's the end of that fight. Good job, both of you guys. Josh, let's go over to you and see what's going on with the chat and your personal opinion on how the fight went for you.
For me, Jaxon really had me there at the beginning, and then Brandon came in with that line of, if it wasn't for that fight, technically Star Wars would exist, and that's where I was like, all right, you kind of got me.
All right. Anything from the chat that you see? What are people saying? What are people?
Yeah. Chris 600 Ewoks is saying Return of the Jedi has the most emotional fight, but he say the most visually compelling is from Episode 1. 2 Jedis versus 1 Sith is Wizard. That's what he says.
Nice.
It's Wizard.
Nice. Hell yeah, Wizard.
Who else we got in there?
Let's see. Kalani saying Yoda fighting Palpatine was pretty legit.
Ty King's in the chat as well. What's up, Ty?
Yeah, we got Ty in here saying the best best lightsaber fight, no doubt, is Rey Kylo versus Snoke.
Right. Yep.
We got Jeff saying that there's a few misses in the choreography of The Last Jedi.
I just disagree with you, Jeff. I love you, buddy, but I disagree. Katie's in the chat as well saying it's Obi-Wan and Anakin.
It's a student versus the master, classic trope.
Well, here's my thoughts on it. I personally think, and you can see who got the point here. I personally think that The Last Jedi, and that's my personal opinion, I think it's a better fight. But I also believe that, Jaxon, you had some great points in there. You didn't have much convincing on your end, but Brandon did have the longer road to climb. But I just feel like you brought it with your arguments. I think you had great points. And, yeah, I think that's you, Jaxon. You got the point on that. Great job.
So we're 1-1.
1-1. Great job, everybody.
Woo. Good job, Jaxon.
Yeah,
Yay.
Brandon, now that the fight's
Great job,
over,
Brandon.
can you admit how beautiful The Last Jedi's
It's
fight
amazing.
is?
It's amazing.
It's
I
emotional,
love The
too.
Last
It's
Jedi.
emotional fight, and it's beautiful, but way
It
more
is.
beautiful than the Duel of Fates. Come on.
I don't know. That duel is awesome.
I disagree.
It's so slow.
Duel
It's
is
so
amazing.
slow. It is so slow. It's like people in slow motion fighting.
No, it's not.
It's
I think it's been a while since you've seen it, sir.
it's
It's a great duel. It's a great duel. I love that. I love the Duel of the Fates. I think that the environment is kind of drab. You know, the gray
Oh, yeah.
wall and the
blue screen.
overall, yeah, the red, curtains burning down in the
Yeah.
background to the stars is kind of a cooler background. But
I'm not debating. Like, it's great. Like, I love it, dude. Like, it's great.
It's super
again,
stylish.
It's hard. It's hard. Like, and you also in the chat, everybody had something different.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, like, that's the beautiful thing about Star Wars. There's so much to love.
I agree.
I like
Yeah.
that one because I think every time somebody, I think besides Luke's hand getting cut off, but every time somebody would die, they just disappear. And on that one, the dude gets cut in half.
I know that blew my mind when I saw that. It
Yeah.
you just didn't see that coming, and I don't know. I mean, that's not even the fight. That's not even the fight. That's just the beginning of the fight. The fight starts after that point. He cuts him in half, and then it goes. That's when the fight starts. So
Just real quick, Ty said it's the yellow starburst of lightsaber.
I am
yellow
going to
starburst.
freak out right now. Okay, everybody, we're going to move into round 3, and we're going to start with Brandon. Round 3 is, what remake is better than the original? And starting with Brandon, what remake is better than the original, Brandon?
I went with Matt Reeves directed Let Me In, the horror remake of Let the Right One In. I think it is a way better remake. It adds more to the story. I've also read the book, and there's just there is something about Reeves' direction to this and how he approaches it as a child, kind of a child's film that's dark and disturbing, that I felt the other version had, but he added just this creepiness and blended just this beautiful tale of these two kids who are so lost in this world, one being a vampire and the other kid wanting just friends and being bullied. And it has this really cool message that kids go through really dark things, and how he shot it, how you never see the adults, how you never see the mom. They're always out in the background and she's on the phone. The kid comes from a broken home. The only human you get really is the sheriff and Richard B. Jenkins, who, spoiler alert, he dies pretty early to the film. And the only adult that you get in the whole movie is the sheriff who's just investigating it. And just seeing how he added so much more to what the Let the Right One In, good movie. Let Me In, an amazing movie.
Nice. Jaxon, for your opening statement for your film.
That is a great film, and I love Matt Reeves. the best remake of all time, is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. It is the coolest horror sci-fi film of all time. It has some of the most incredible practical effects ever put to screen. It has an amazing score, the acting, I could pull out any number of scenes from that film to say, oh man, this is like one of the best horror movies of all time. But The Thing is incredible. The original Thing, The Thing from Outer Space, is a terrible film that you should never watch.
That's not that bad.
And on that
Fox,
ground,
man.
I think that's why it's the best remake, is because it's that much better than the original.
All right, Brandon, rebuttal? Or go after him, I guess. Not rebuttal, but go.
The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. Great movie. And much like when it came out, nobody saw it, just like Let Me In. They both are cult films, but there is something about Let Me In. And this is kind of the Star Wars thing. I do love John Carpenter's The Thing. So you love my movie too, so we're equal on that. But there is something Reeves just added to this story. John Carpenter, he makes cool John Carpenter movies. Let Me In is a better made movie. It's just such a masterclass in directing and how they shot that in New Mexico against the backdrop of the snow. The car crash sequence from keeping the camera inside the car and never leaving. There are just so many technical, but there's already this beautiful story between these two lost kids. And there's even kind of a revenge story. He gets back on these bullies and you're left, was this right? Was this wrong? There are questions. The Thing's cool, but The Thing's just a fun movie. It's a fun John Carpenter movie. Let Me In is a better movie, and it's a movie. It's not a spectacle. It's not, oh, I'm John Carpenter, let me do a Howard Hawks film. I get it, and it's great, but Let Me In is a better movie and a better remake of its source material.
Jaxon?
See, and I love Let Me In. I think the drama and the beautiful story, I think you're right. Absolutely. It has all of those things. I think The Thing has those things as well. I mean, you have this alien who doesn't know who he is. He is constantly changing into other things, and he's discovering himself as he goes along. I'm sorry.
Okay. I never looked at The Thing from the alien's point of view. How selfish of me. I'm sorry. I've always viewed it through the eyes of Kurt Russell. I thought he was the guy we were following.
He's just trying to get back home, Brandon.
Like, dude, it's just E.T. It's the sequel to E.T., bro. Like, exactly. Like, there's a gimmick to it. Like, it's just, I don't know. Let Me In's just a better film. Like, it's a better film. It's a masterclass in filmmaking in every way, from sound, design, to their use of blood and practical effects, and shooting it in New Mexico during the winter. Such an awesome idea to feel isolated and alone, which is the whole thing. That's the thing. Thing is just, they're isolated and alone, and some shit happens. It's an alien.
Hey, Josh.
I'm sorry, like, there's
Josh,
so much more to Let Me In.
Josh, real quick, can you? Sorry, Jaxon.
That are isolated. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Josh, can you look up the 2 Rotten Tomato scores for both these films? The Thing. What year was that?
Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter.
Hold on, I just need to know for this fight. Can you look up those 2 films? Let Me In and The Thing. Sorry, back to you, Jaxon.
Okay, so I think the best horror movies are the ones that take place in an isolated area. I mean, talk about backdrops. This is, nothing but snow for miles around. Where are you going to go? That existential dread that you feel in your soul when you're watching it, because you know that someone is the thing. Someone who isn't the person who you know. And I think we all have kind of that fear sometimes in life that you don't know someone. And this is just taken to the extreme, that the people around you aren't who they say they are. And one of them is the villain and is going to get you. And I think that the dread throughout the whole film, the way that it makes you feel. You don't really feel that in Let Me In. Then again, that's not really what Let Me In is trying to bring out of you.
Right.
But as a film, I think The Thing pulls that emotion out of you to a larger degree than I would say the emotions that Let Me In pulled out of me whenever I saw it for the first time. I remember The Thing, every moment of The Thing, since I was a child when I watched it, which I shouldn't have been watching at that age anyway. But seeing it, I remember every frame, the dog creature in the cage, the head pulling itself off of the body and crawling along the floor. Special effects that still to this day look way better than anything that we've ever done in CGI, especially the Other Thing remake that was made, that had CGI in it that we won't speak.
We don't talk about that.
But just these are like people. Matt Reeves probably watches The Thing and aspires to create something.
Oh, don't even.
John
Back
Carpenter
off.
is. I just had a blackout.
Again.
Yeah. Your lights went out, Jackson.
Yeah, my lights went out. I'm still here.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And The Thing could be anywhere.
Vampire, bro.
We planned this. Okay, Josh, heading over to you. What is the Rotten Tomatoes of those two films?
Okay, I just want to make sure I have the right ones.
Yeah.
Let Me In was the 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Okay, and The Thing was
1983. 82. Yeah.
Okay, so surprisingly, insanely close. Let Me In, the Rotten Tomato meter is 88 on Let Me In,
Okay.
and The Thing is 83.
Okay. I just wanted to know on those two. Just kind of curious.
You want the audience score?
Yeah, what's the audience score on those?
Audience score on Let Me In is 76.
Don't care. Don't look at audience scores.
On Let Me In. Let Me In 76. The Thing is 92, bro.
Nice. Okay.
Say 92%.
92%.
I did. I did indeed. Hold
Okay, so wait,
on.
Josh.
I did.
Josh, hop in with your personal thoughts on this debate.
I haven't seen either movie, so both arguments were intriguing.
Josh through this whole show is, well, I haven't seen the film.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah. But what about the debates?
I've always wanted to see Let Me In.
Yeah.
Brandon really started to bring me in. Honestly, even though we started laughing afterwards, Jackson's whole point where it was like, it's just like this alien trying to figure out who is he and what is he doing. I was like, I want to watch that movie. So just for that point,
Don't go into that movie thing, and it is that.
A deep character study.
It's a deep character.
it's a deep character. Man.
Well, Brandon is smart in his decision making here because he knows Let Me In is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So it's leaning really hard into my bias and for my appreciation for Matt Reeves at this current moment after the Batman being my favorite character of all
You're
time.
talking shit, man. Nobody knew.
Yeah, so for me, Jackson, love you. I've never even seen The Thing, but the Let Me In, as soon as that came in, I was like, well, how's he gonna freaking not win this one? It's my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So Brandon gets the point on that. Sorry, Jackson. Love you, buddy.
Fine. I lost my power and the point.
Now. I don't feel like I deserve that.
It was real. I think you did a great debate. I literally was checking out during Jackson's thing. I was like, there's no way he's going to win this.
Wow. Huh.
Real biased show. This is my show, Jackson. This is my show. You come on my show, you play by my rules. Okay, guy? All right, round 4, everybody. Round 4. This is going to start with, who are we starting with? Jackson, is that you?
Jackson. Yeah.
All right. Round 4, it is, who are we recasting as Wolverine? Now that Hugh Jackman is out, who are we recasting? Now going with you, Jackson.
I am really, this is a hard one because there's a lot of really talented people out there right now, and the Wolverine is such a specific character. I decided to go with Dacre Montgomery, who isn't a huge name, but if you've seen Stranger Things season 3, he played Billy, the bully in that season. He is a phenomenal actor. And he also doesn't have a huge filmography right now. And I think that if he were to be cast as a character like Wolverine in like the Marvel films, I think that he could grow. His career could not only grow from that, but I think he could grow as an actor through a role like that. And I think that that Disney wouldn't have to shell out like millions and millions of dollars for this guy because he is a younger actor.
Is he the Red Power Ranger?
Yes,
okay.
Is the.
Just checking. No, that was no diss or anything. I was literally checking
because I'm glad you asked that. Now I know who it is.
Brandon was confused, so I just had to.
Power Rangers.
Also
came out the same year as The Last Jedi.
It was a great year for film.
Nobody saw it.
I saw it. I saw that movie.
Too much Krispy Kreme, man. Too much Krispy Kreme in that one.
All right, Brandon, who was your pick?
I went with the obvious, Tom Hardy. Like, let's get him out of Venom. Let's make him Wolverine. Like, he's already in physical shape. We know he can act. You know, he would want to bring his own character to it. Look what he's trying to do in the Venom movies. Get him out of that. I think he would gladly go get into Marvel and not be on the outside. But I think he's a good choice. Like, he's proved himself from working with Nolan to going up. He can play all different types of characters. I feel like physically I would believe the character. That's kind of my problem. There are a lot of talented actors, but Hugh Jackman was a big impact. Like, he really made that character. He had a couple movies to do it, but he's who we think of that character. And I feel like Tom Hardy could bring that in one movie.
Right. Jackson, why do you think Tom Hardy would not be the right fit for this film versus your guy?
As much as I love Tom Hardy, I think he's an incredible actor. I don't think everyone is clamoring for an older Wolverine anymore. I mean, it would be cool to see, absolutely. I think that a younger Wolverine we could stay with for longer. Hugh Jackman was, not super young whenever he started out, and he aged out of it, recently. Well, I think he might have aged out of it a little earlier than that, but he kept going. But, I think that if we start with a younger Wolverine, we have a longer time to build our connection with him. We have, with Tom Hardy, you kind of see him as Tom Hardy, although he kind of always brings a different energy to every role that he does. I think with someone new, we could kind of see them more as Wolverine, as instead of like, oh, it's Tom Hardy as Wolverine. And, right. And I mean, not everyone's seen season 3 of Stranger Things. It's not like the best thing on television ever, but his performance in that was, he was such a tortured soul. There was a lot of anger in him that he was taking out on everyone else. I think it's very indicative of what his Wolverine would be like. And he's Australian, and so was Hugh Jackman.
Check that. Is he really Australian?
Josh, fact check that.
Like, nobody knows your dude. Like, just like, I kind of remember him from the Power Rangers movie, but no, like, I feel like Tom Hardy, like, it's a role he needs to do to get into like an actual cinematic version. People are clamoring, saying they want this, they want that. When we give them what they want, nobody likes it. It's when the surprises, like Benedict Cumberbatch cast as Doctor Strange. People were like, what, that dude, the Sherlock guy? We wanted Joaquin Phoenix. No, we're glad we got him. Tom Holland, people complained about that. They're like, oh, is he going to be the right Spider-Man? And he was amazing. It's like, who cares what people think they want? I think that, like you said, he brings something to every single one of his roles that he changes differently. That's why he's great. Locke, you're talking about emotions. The movie Locke, it all takes place in a car with him just making phone calls of him cheating on his wife. Like, nothing crazy. Like, and it's the most intense performance, and it's all a car ride. He brought that to a movie and had a cold while doing it. Give him Wolverine. Let him do what he wants with it. We will be thankful for it.
I agree. I think Locke was an incredible film, and once again, I love Tom Hardy with everything in me. I don't see Tom Hardy being Wolverine for film after film after film for Marvel. I just don't see him taking that on. First of all, I don't think that that's something that he would be interested in. I don't think Marvel wants to pay the kind of money that Tom Hardy. I mean, look at Sebastian Stan, who was practically a no one before Winter Soldier, and now he's this huge star that everyone loves, all because of his performance as Bucky Barnes. I think that there is a merit to bringing someone in that no one knows. I mean, the Star Wars films too. I mean, look at like Daisy Ridley. These are all people that no one knew, and you kind of got as a character instead of kind of coloring it by, like, oh, it's this person. I mean, Marvel's done a really good job of casting people, bringing back Robert Downey Jr., even though, no one was really concerned with him coming back. They brought him back, and he was one of the best things about those movies. Yeah, I think that taking a chance on someone younger, newer would be fruitful for Marvel in the long run, rather than trying to bring in someone more experienced and a bigger star.
Right. That's good right there, man. I think that's a good place to stop on that. Josh, what are you leaning to? Do you have any facts to clean up?
Well, first of all, he's definitely Australian.
Okay.
So,
nice fact check. Nice fact check. Nice fact check.
Yeah, I'm on it, baby. I'm on it. I was 100% on Brandon's side because I love Tom Hardy.
Right.
All the way through, up to a comment from the chat from Jeff, who says the number one reason to not have Tom Hardy as Wolverine is the possibility of having Wolverine versus Venom in a movie. And I was like,
that's a great point.
Universe is done once he's out. Look at Morbius, it's done. It's done.
The thing that swayed me towards Jaxon on this
and
fight,
also it's Marvel, guys. Multiverse. Anybody can be anybody. Tony Stark can come back. We just need Tom Hardy for one movie, baby.
right.
The comment that pushed me over that made Jaxon get the point on this one was a comment Brandon actually said that said, people don't know what they want till they have it. He said that, he was saying that about in his own pitch. Yeah, that's like the point that Jaxon is making about this casting, is that people, when they casted Heath Ledger, when they casted Robert Pattinson, people don't really know. You kind of, because everyone,
Tom Holland,
right? Everyone is clamoring for.
I think everybody's happy for Tom Holland too. I don't remember that much negativity.
Everyone is clamoring for Tom Hardy to be Wolverine. Like there's whenever.
I thought it was Daniel Radcliffe that everybody wanted.
Yeah, him too. But whenever I googled Tom Hardy Wolverine, multiple pictures popped up of this dude in like a CG like version of it. So I think, and there was a few for this Jackson's pick as well. But the fact that
was it?
Yeah, there was. I found a few that people were like, "Oh, I would love to see him," and I think I was like, Jackson's got a tough road to climb on this argument. Like, I don't know who this dude is. Tom Hardy's definitely like a guy we all want, but I think after hearing your argument and hearing Brandon's argument for you, I think Jaxon, you get the point on that.
Can we say both handsome fellows?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Not too shabby.
Brandon, Jaxon, both. You're talking about Tom Hardy?
Looks like he happily took a shower.
Yes. Brandon and Jaxon.
And I'm still into it.
All right, guys. So it looks like we have a tie. Look at this right here. It is 2-2. That means we are moving to the tiebreaker round. And how this is going to go, shock from the audience, how this is going to go.
Y'all don't know.
Is that I am going to state the tiebreaker question. These two fighters don't know this question. After I finish the question is when you can answer. There's only two options here. So whoever answers it first and I hear first will get that choice, okay? You two fighters ready for the tiebreaker question?
Ready.
Okay. For the tiebreaker, we have pick the best duo: Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan, or Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan.
Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan.
Okay, Jackson gets Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan. So that means what did you say, Brandon? Did you say Chris Tucker?
Jackie Chan. Yep.
Okay, cool. So we'll start with you. We'll start with you, Jackson. Oh, sorry, Josh.
When Adam sent me the list of the things that he was doing, I saw this question. I was like, "There's no way I can answer this."
It's too
They're
hard.
both too. Yes, way too hard. I love them both so much.
Yeah, totally. Let's start with Jackson here on this tiebreaker question. I know you're not prepared, but
I think both hilarious duos. I think Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan is a better duo just because to me, their chemistry works off of each other more than I saw between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. I love Owen Wilson's comedy on his own. I love Jackie Chan, anything he does, because he's amazing. I think that together they worked really well. I loved, all of the I loved all the humor that they had together. I loved the act. Of course, Jackie Chan's always great in an action scene, but Owen Wilson is just, I have a soft spot for him. Wow.
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
wow. Okay, Brandon, your opening statement.
Well, who remembers any lines from Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Night? Like, you remember Rush Hour. How many people said, "Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?" Like, come on. Like, there's no better duo than Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. When you think Jackie Chan, it's what made him in the States. Like, yeah, Shanghai Noon was really good. Nobody remembers Shanghai Nights. People remember Rush Hour. I think Rush Hour 2 is better than Rush Hour 1. And some people went and saw Rush Hour 3, but it got a third one, baby. So, yeah, like it's, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan all the way.
Nice. Jackson?
Where did Josh go?
Oh, yeah. He's checking Rotten Tomatoes for me, I think. Or maybe just left.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Sorry. I'm here.
Okay.
Jackson?
No, it's difficult because they're both great films and I think they're both hilarious. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen Shanghai Noon in a long time. I haven't seen Shanghai Nights in a long time. It's been a long time. So no, I don't remember any quotes from it. To come back at you, but Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan. I love Chris Tucker. He's great.
I got a quote for you real quick. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Who? No one. Does Chris Tucker have a catchphrase, Brandon?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Owen Wilson says, "Wow."
Chris Tucker's is probably.
He doesn't need a gimmick. He's just funny, man.
Never touch a black man's radio. Probably that.
I don't know. I don't want to get canceled for doing voice.
I know. I'm like Michael Scott. This whole thing right now. They're like,
if you watch both not politically correct. Both Shanghai Noon and Rush Hour, both very.
Of their
Rush
times.
Hour very racist towards Asians. Shanghai Noon very racist towards Indians. Like.
Yeah,
and not in a very fun way.
Yeah, the quote that I have from that movie, when you're like, "What quote do you remember?" is when he's at the bar and the guy's like, "We don't have no firewater around."
Oh, is that a line in the movie?
Yeah, he says it's
Oh,
Jackie
okay.
Chan.
All right, back to the fight. Sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay. Chris Tucker is awesome. I think he's I think he's hilarious. I like Owen Wilson's more laid back, humor as opposed to Chris Tucker's more manic humor. I think that it complements Jackie's more manic kind of crazy personality more than having two of them at the same time. It kind of is like there's the dude who's kind of chill and then the guy that's like kind of out there. But
Oh, I found a good quote, guys, from Shanghai Noon.
No.
It says, "You said wet shirt don't break, not piss bins bars. Piss shirt bins."
Yeah, not piss shirt, Biz Bar. Yeah.
It's such a funny moment.
Remember it. We're now remembering it because of a line from the movie. It's just not. It's not memorable. It's not. Rush Hour 3 is way better looked upon and are better movies than Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights.
Dang. Josh, did you end up getting Rotten Tomatoes for these two franchises?
I did.
All right.
I'm actually like really shocked by these.
Okay.
So, Shanghai Noon, 80% on their tomato meter.
Okay.
Rush Hour is 60.
Rush
Whoa.
Hour 1? Okay.
That's
What's
what
Rush
I
Hour
was saying.
2?
Rush Hour 2, I think,
Oh,
dropped
I
down
didn't-
to like the 40s, 50s. somewhere in there.
Wow. I always thought that was considered like everyone liked 2 more than 1.
I thought, to me, 1 is like up there with one of my my childhood and everything. Like probably one of the
Yeah.
best movies I've ever seen. The fact that it's 60 is insane.
I know.
But the audience score on Shanghai Noon is 65, and in Rush Hour it's almost 80, 78.
Dang.
So the audience definitely loved the movie more than critics did. Maybe it's just new, that style of thing.
I don't know.
I
I was shocked when I saw those two back in the day, and I was like, dang, I thought Rush Hours. I remember
There's
this.
a lot of problems. We can't talk about that director
I
anymore. We
know.
can't talk about
You know what? I think there was a huge thing about the movies that Chris Tucker brought up, even in an interview or something. He said that the audience said that the bloopers were funnier than the actual movie, and they wanted to make Rush Hour 2 better. I don't know. I think they're both fun, but according to the duos, let's just kind of do a little wrap up between you two guys. Who is the better duo though? Like tag team, not the movies themselves, but who's the better duos? So let's start with you, Jackson. Who is why is Owen Wilson the better duo with Jackie Chan?
Owen Wilson is the better duo with Jackie Chan because their energies complement each other more than Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, I believe. Two people going at it at 100%, I think, is a little much. It's still enjoyable, but I think that having someone like Owen Wilson, the calm guy, and then having Jackie Chan be like the outwardly, funny guy, I think having that it plays off each other better in the long run than kind of getting berated by both.
Brandon?
I totally disagree. Owen Wilson is a coward in Shanghai Noon, and Jackie Chan's always having to bail him out of trouble. Chris Tucker, they're a better duo because Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan can both hold their own. Come on, they have that amazing moment. I think in 1, 2, and 3, it was like, you go right, I go left. They make a better duo. They are a better team. They're fun. They're watched. They got 3 movies. People wanted to see them. Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan was a gimmick that people got tired of.
Dang, you guys came out swinging on that last little bit right there.
Yeah, for real.
Josh, who would you pick out of these two arguments?
Out of their arguments or out of the duo?
Not the duos. We kind of got that idea, but out of these two
Yeah.
arguments, who would you pick?
Yeah,
It's a tough one
I don't know.
because this
It's so tough.
listening to these last 2 bits of their last 30 seconds to wrap up, I was like on either side. Is anyone in the chat saying anything? Rush Hour was definitely more quotable.
Yeah, we got Jeff.
They're dead. Well, he checked out a long time ago.
You know
Yeah,
what?
we got Jeff.
All these guys gonna do is argue.
This argument show.
When in this debate are they
Why
just
are
gonna...
they so passionate about Star Wars? Oh my god!
I think for me, I am leaning towards Rush Hour, taking the point on that. Sorry, Jackson. I think Brandon got you at the end. I was with you, but I think Brandon got you at the end there. So
That's where I
fair.
That's where I
Argument.
split.
I was racking my brain for the part what they said. I couldn't remember. You go right. I couldn't remember. I was like, oh yeah, it's such a badass scene in the movie too.
I was like disagreeing with you at first because I was like, oh no, Chris Tucker's always in trouble too. But then when you brought up that moment, you go right. I was like, yeah, he's right. They do complement
But he
each
can
other.
get himself out of trouble too. Owen Wilson really needs Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Because the opening scene when he's a coward. Remember he's in there, he's like, oh God, the narration, one of the funniest parts of the movie where he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And he's in a shootout. I'm just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's so funny when they're robbing that train though, and Owen Wilson, like that guy, he's like,
No.
where'd you get this guy from? They're like, from Texas.
I think
And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, just winging it.
The movies are both great. They're both.
It's been so long.
After this fight, Jackson's never watching any of the Shanghai movies ever again. He's gonna be so mad at. And if he sees it on
I need to give both of them a rewatch soon, though.
I know
I haven't seen.
Rush Hour 2 is the reason I got into filmmaking, though. I mean, I've told Brandon this story.
I remember we talking about this. It was the first time I ever watched behind the scenes on a DVD, and I was like, "Oh, that's what a director does."
They had a really in-depth behind the scenes feature that showed the name we don't speak of, Brian.
Dude, didn't he
Brett
not
Ratner.
look cool just sitting there directing
I know.
and like looking with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker? Was like, I want to do that.
Honestly,
that's what I want to do.
even whenever I was young, I thought he
I
looked
just don't
super
want to be
lame.
that kind of a monster.
He looked super lame directing. Honestly, he was like, but I just wanted to do that.
I liked him for a minute, and then I was like, he's not a good director.
Yeah, he's not. So that's it. Brandon wins this one. That's 2 for 2, man.
Thanks for a good fight, man. It was a really good fight.
Thanks.
Absolutely, man.
Jackson,
I loved it.
You brought it for your first match. I mean, that was amazing fights you guys did. They were really, I don't know if you watched Josh and Brandon, but that was kind of like
I did.
A slaughter of Josh.
Hey, Josh tried. What did I hear? It's like pistol whipping a blind kid. I heard someone say that. I was like, what?
Yeah, but Josh ended up telling me, he's like, I thought this was all going to be like jokes and stuff. He didn't know it was going to be a real debate show.
I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough jokes. I was like, I feel like I only prepared like real debate stuff.
That's what I'm honestly looking forward for is like real debating with some humor sprinkled. It's nice.
Just remember, we're arguing about something so petty and dumb, but it's so fun.
Josh put in the chat that his phone died. That's why he bounced. His phone. Josh typed that his phone died. But he's
still on my screen.
Oh,
speaking of the behind the scenes on that.
You're good. You're good.
Speaking of the behind the scenes on Rush Hour, I was having this conversation with my wife the other day. It makes me so sad. I feel like special features on movies just aren't the way that they were before. That was like one of my favorite parts of getting a movie was watching like making of, hearing everyone talk about it.
Right.
On the Batman, there's actually a really awesome documentary on the making.
That's really cool.
I'm picking up I still buy physical, baby. I'll pick up that Blu-ray the day it comes out. Because you don't get the special features, and so much so, like, I'm a big Halloween fan, and it's almost sad what they'll put out. Just be, now it has this special feature, but it's $200. You're like, y'all are just screwing with us now. Like, y'all aren't even trying. Like,
I know, man.
I mean, no matter what DVD you got, it could have been a straight to video. It still had like a director's commentary on it. It's like, someone did a commentary for this piece of crap? I gotta listen to it. Like,
well, let's wrap up the show real quick. Thanks, Jackson. Thanks, Brandon. Do you guys want to shout out anything like social medias at all, or you don't care?
I mean, if you're a fan of cool music, you should check out Low Lives, my band. We're like heavy grungy music, but if not, that's fine too.
Nice.
You don't have to.
I actually really like Low Lives, dude. I'm not just saying that because you're in the guitarist for it.
No, he's
actually really dig the band.
Yeah, he's told me several times how much he loves it.
Yeah. He'd be like, I'm friends with that guy. We used to do videos and I was like, oh, that's the same dude. Oh, cool. Like, no, you know good music, sir. I do listen to that. I do listen. So I was a little intimidated. And then when I did ask you that dumb, hey, are you a Star Wars fan? And you did the tattoo thing. I was like, oh, crap. I'm Brandon Aaron Bonnette on all social media. All I talk about is movies. If you want to follow me, follow me. And that's if you live in Lubbock, Texas, come to Ralph's Records.
Nice. All right, guys. I'm at Adam Ballstone. Josh is Stonewalls. He probably doesn't care. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. We're going to be back next week with I don't know. We may set up some new fighters, give Brandon a week off or whatever. He's really been putting in the work on this. So we'll probably give him the week off. We'll find 2 new fighters. If you want to fight on this show, DM me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and we'll set this up to get you fighting on some cool topics, gaming, TV, movies, whatever. And we'll see you back next week on Let's Settle This.
Let's settle this.